over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by the books the number of years specified by the word of the Lord through the prophet Jeremiah, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. Then I set my face toward the Lord God to make a request by prayer and supplication with fasting, sackcloth, and ashes. So here we're going to see a prophecy. So the Babylonian captivity came about because the Jews were to have a seed time and harvest for 6 years and have a Sabbath year. The seventh year was a Sabbath year where the land would rest, and then they go back to 6 years of seed time and harvest, and then the seventh year it would rest again. So God gave them a double portion in the sixth year. So they did not let the land rest. They disobeyed that commandment, that law. And so for 70 times, the land should have rested. That means over 490 years. 70 times 7 is 490. So for 70 times over 490 years, the land didn't rest. So God allowed them to be taken into Babylonian captivity for 70 years. So the land rested while they were in captivity. God got his way. But Daniel understood this by the prophecy of Jeremiah, a prophet that was on the earth before him, and he understood that they would be in captivity for 70 years. So he knew his time. He was taken into captivity as a very young boy, maybe 12 or 14 years old. So he understands that this is coming to an end, that this 70-year period of the desolation of Jerusalem is coming to an end, and they were going to be reestablished into their own land, okay, back into their own land. Later in the chapter, what I want to get to today is in verse 24, it says, 70 weeks are determined upon your people and your holy city. That 70 weeks is 70 groups of 7. So another 490-year period of time is determined upon them. So he's saying just like that other 490-year period where there were 70 weeks, 70 groups of 7, there's 70 groups of 7 apportioned to your people. And here's what's going to happen. At the end of it, we're going to finish the transgression. We're going to make an end of sin. We're going to make reconciliation for iniquity. We're going to bring in everlasting righteousness. We're going to seal up the vision and prophecy and anoint the most holy. So at the end of 490 years, Daniel, this is what's going to happen. We're going to reconcile the books. Jesus is going to return to earth, and we're going to reconcile the books. So verse 25 says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince, there shall be 77 weeks, so that's 7 groups of 7, and 62 weeks. So 7 weeks, 490 years, and then 62 weeks, whatever the math is, those two added together come out to 483 years. There's 1 week short. So when the commandments sent to build Jerusalem, there's going to be a year of 449 years to build the temple again. It says the streets shall be built again in the walls in troublous time. And after 62 weeks, Messiah shall be cut off. Messiah's going to die, but not for himself. And the people of the prince who will come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, the end of which shall be a flood till the end of wars. Desolations are determined. So after 483 years from the going forth to build the commandment to build the temple and the city again, 483 years after, Jesus will be executed for us. And the people of the prince, that's the Romans, that shall come, shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Verse 27, then he, that's the Antichrist, the prince that shall come, shall make confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle of that week he shall bring an end to the sacrifice and the offerings. On the wings of abomination shall one make it desolate, even until the consummation, which is determined, it shall be poured out upon the desolate. So let's look at that. So after 483 years, Jesus will be executed. The temple will be brought down in 70 AD. And then there's this 1 week remaining. So the church age is tucked in from the death, burial, resurrection of Jesus until what we call the 7-year tribulation period. It's really not. It's 1 week. It's 1 7-year period. That week starts when Antichrist signs an agreement that will allow the temple sacrifices again. When the temple sacrifices go into effect, halfway through that 7-year agreement, Antichrist will go into the temple, proclaim himself to be God, and from that point on starts great tribulation. So Daniel gave us a snapshot of it. I didn't think I could teach it in 5 minutes. I taught it in 6. Anyway, God bless